Was this possibly the best day of G1 Climax 30 so freaking far? Day 13 is now in the books, and we are on the final stretch of the G1 Climax 30 to see who will be the one. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, konnichiwa to you all. My name is Noah Foster, and I'm just a simple man. And welcome once again to another G1 Climax 30 Simple Review Preview Special. In this video, we'll be taking a look at today's action that emanated from, of course, Osaka, as we look at day 13, and we look forward to tomorrow, day 14, for B block action. That will be in Ishii. Apologies if I screw up those places' names. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Today, of course, the Young Lions C block G1. It started off with Yodatsuji and Yamera duking it out today. Both men finding a very competitive match. I thought that Yoda had Uya for a moment as he trapped him in the Boston Crab. There was a sell back and forth. Looked like they were going to really go the distance. And they kind of did, one of the longer matches. But here, Uya Yamera came out victorious with a double overhook suplex pinning combination. Very impressive finish and setup for it too. And Uya Yamera now ties Yodatsuji at 4 wins, while Kid is down both by 1 with 3 wins. And each man has a draw to their name, but I believe Yoda has 2. So again, it's still anybody's game right now in this C block, and I'm curious to see if the one LA Dojo participant can overcome the 2 NJPW Dojo participants. But we're going to have to wait and see. Good opener, good setup for the night ahead, and oh boy, you talk about an incredible day of professional wrestling with 4 out of 5 classics. But the last one that I'm going to talk about a little different way kind of leaves you thinking. Let's just get right into it. Our opening bout for G1 Climax action today of the A block was, first time ever, Jeff Cobb versus Tomohiro Ishii. And these two really set the tone of what everybody else needed to follow up on. Because this was nothing but a physical smash mouth affair, where really the difference maker here was Jeff Cobb's grappling ability. But it was not come easy, as these two literally duked it out among each other. Ishii, of course, literally giving Cobb everything he could, knocking him out among several exchanges a couple of times. We also got that backdrop suplex, of course, brutal chops in the corner, but then Cobb was able to garner advantage with, of course, his grappling capabilities after throwing him clean across with a T-bone suplex, and then basically sets him up for a constant suplex party. But then as this match kept progressing, and literally we had a huge vertical suplex, and more chops and jabs fired into Cobb by Tomohiro Ishii, literally matching Cobb for grappling capabilities, you could say, to a degree. As this match continued to basically go forward, both these men were literally exchanging suplexes and immediately getting up. I was like, what the hell? As this match continued, there was a misdirect in midair with a German suplex before Gashimushi moonsault. Impressive by Jeff Cobb when he does that. His standing moonsault, folks. He gets a 2 count off that, but Ishii then he counters the first attempt for the Tour of the Islands and lands a jumping high kick, but then lands hard on his right knee. And you could tell that the right knee was really bothering Ishii throughout this match. And it really garnered basically his downfall, because when he went to go off the ropes, it gave Cobb a moment to connect with a ridiculous headbutt, but then a thunderous lariat combination follow-up by Tomohiro Ishii. And basically, you think Cobb is done here for the nearest of near falls at this point, because I was like 2 count, 2.5, 2 7/8, so damn close. As Ishii finally tries to finish him off with, of course, his move, the vertical drop brainbuster, it gets countered by a spin cycle, which Ishii immediately gets up from. The man is not human against this superhuman. He goes beyond Cobb's ability. And then literally the two are clashing their heads together. Thank God neither man busted themselves like Katsura Shibata did back in 2017 at Sakura Genesis. And then as these two collapse on the mat, Ishii was once again the one to get up first, literally hitting a pop-up powerbomb. And then, unfortunately, it spelled the end for Ishii after that powerbomb, as he finally hit Tour of the Islands in an incredible, phenomenal, smash mouth, physical, hugely contested, competitive opener, and gets another 2 points. And that brings Jeff Cobb now up to 6, while Tomohiro Ishii remains at 6. I tell you, every year Tomohiro Ishii leaves us with classics. This was one of them. I look at Ishii's run of all the matches he's had so far, and I think right now when I look at his run, The only one so far I think that kind of might rival it is this match with Takagi, because this match was just absolutely beautiful and physical. I loved everything about this. I could tell Tomohiro Ishii, he really liked this fight too, because again, it's all about violence, it's all about who's the strongest. I can't tell afterwards he was feeling pain or just annoyed as he banged the mat. But the bottom line is this: both men owned that match. And again, Jeff Cobb, he did not leave the same way he came in, because it looked like he literally was hurt as he had to be helped towards the back, while of course Ishii refuses help and leaves on his own power. What an opener, what a start, what a fight. I hope these two fight each other again very soon. Now we take a different turn to pace here as Yujiro Takahashi, Tokyo Pimp, takes on Switchblade Jay White in casual attire. You talk about really just waving off freaking Yujiro, like, okay, man, come on, you know that go. All right, I'm the leader. Just lay down, let me pin you, let's call it quits. He thought it was going to be the quickest, easiest when he was going to get. And it seemed like Yujiro, he was basically going to do that, but then Jay White was basically messing around with the ref, like, no, I'm going to let you wait it out. We're going to have some fun here. I'm going to let you wait it out. Filled with so much confidence to the fact that he was not even in ring gear, I might add, casual attire, tank top, pants, and red tennis shoes. Yujiro, he pulls off a flash pin, tries to go for the win, and Jay White's like, what the hell are you doing? And then literally, Yujiro, he gets the crowd on his side, commentary on his side, and really goes for the kill here, including a low blow into a near fall combination. And then he finally hits Miami Shine, and you think he's going to win it here, basically. Yujiro basically kicked out twice before even doing all this. But then Gato with the subtle distraction, the dreaded low blow by Jay White, followed by an immediate switchblade, and literally that takes down the Tokyo Pimp 1, 2, 3. And he remains at 0. While Jay White now, he moves up to 10. What's interesting about this match is from a storytelling standpoint, post-match, where Jay White was freaking furious, and Gato was telling him to calm down, calm down, calm down. As of course, Gato and Yujiro, they go way back. And you got to imagine after this, literally, you got to wonder what is the mindset right now of Jay White towards Yujiro. Where's Yujiro stand in Bullet Club as far as I'm concerned? And you wonder if this is playing towards maybe something in the future. It was a weird match, but it really leaves me wondering. I feel like some change is coming to Bullet Club later this year. If not, post Wrestle Kingdom next year. Just saying. It is a new era, as Jay White says. But is it his era or somebody else's that we don't know yet? I'm just saying. Stay tuned. Following that, we of course go into our cleaning intermission break with the music, and then we come back to action as Taiji and Will Ospreay, they tear into each other in a very competitive bout, as literally we were avoiding Ospreay's strength as Taiji slowed down his momentum, including bringing him out of the ring and using, of course, the bell hammer to his advantage. A couple of times, the bell hammer found its way into Ospreay's head and lower back, leaving the Holy Emperor in firm control of the orgone of this match, and also a camera cable attempted chokeout. As pace started to quicken, though, Taiji kept the offense, but Ospreay was able to, of course, get him with his handspring kick and Sasuke special to the floor. And then Taiji follows up with that, going for a reverse bloody Sunday, but Ospreay, he kept in the match, of course, with some incredible aerial offense, because again, he's the aerial assassin, and then pulls off a corkscrew, garnering a 2 count. Not quite enough. And it really looked like Taiji was still testing out Ospreay here because he never pulled the pants off. That's when you know this match really has not reached second gear. Taiji, of course, landing his move that always puts the match in his favor, or at least slows it down, the jumping high kick in the corner. And we're at the 10-minute mark, and then we get some heavy mid kicks while Ospreay looks to hit another handspring. This time, the Holy Emperor was able to counter that with, of course, dangerous backdrop move. Man, that move is effective. As Taiji continued to follow up, he goes for the Black Mephisto off the top rope, but that gets countered, of course, to a cheeky Nando's kick. And once again, Ospreay's in control, goes for the 450, but he hits knees. And then he goes basically, Taiji goes for his own sort of hidden blade. I call it more so a low-running axe bomber, followed up with a last right powerbomb for a 2 count. And then, wait for it, the pants come off, And literally, we're in the next phase of this match for Taiji as he looks to set up the kill, goes for that big kick, but gets caught, and then we go for a attempted Oz cutter. He gets super kicked out of midair. That was a brilliant spot. So close. I thought Taiji had him here at this moment. As both men looked respectively for their finishers following this, neither one could make it happen until he finally hit Taiji with an Oskata after pulling off a couple of kicks, including a hook kick to the face. Then, Taiji was unaware this time. He got hit with the hidden blade, and then the Stormbreaker follow-up sends Ospreay up to 10 points and leaves the Holy Emperor at 6. Damn it. Really competitive, back and forth bout. Once again, Taiji bringing all that he can. Tricks aside, Milano praising Ospreay. You're a superstar. You are incredible. You are phenomenal. I'm like, Milano, jeez, I get it. Evil turned his back on you, and you got like no one else to look forward to. But I guess Ospreay now is his new favorite. I'm surprised he ain't wearing an Ospreay shirt yet, but yeesh. He has really been supportive of Ospreay ever since his return. I find that kind of interesting. And Taiji right now sits at 6. And Ospreay is a block leader right now with 10 points. So really good match. And Ospreay, he's got his, I feel like, 2 toughest matches to date. Both great enemies of his past. He's able to overcome one. Can he finally overcome the other in this G1 for the first time ever? We'll have to wait and see. As far as Taiji goes, he's got a chance to play spoiler, I feel like, and also has the chance to really have one last big breakout match this G1. Maybe 2. We'll have to wait and see. Moving on from there, this was probably my favorite match of the night, as we have the King, Kasa Ninare, Minoru Suzuki, taking on the Golden Star, Kota Ibushi. You could tell this match was definitely going to be different, and really a test to see, can the man who wants to be God with capital G surpass the King of Pro Wrestling? The first 5 minutes, literally, they did nothing but try to feel each other out to garner an advantage. And it wasn't until literally Suzuki, he gets the first moment of the match, blocking a full guard and pulling off a double wrist lock. And then Kota Ibushi tries to challenge that, the mat game. Kota Ibushi is not one of those I would consider a great worker of the mat game. He is a striker, period. And truth be told, while he was trapped in a submission, after the 5-minute mark, he did pull off a kick that sent Minoru Suzuki from the apron to the floor, to the barricade, and he tried to follow up on the advantage. Didn't work out so well, as again, he found himself trapped in a submission, followed by literally the 2 kicking each other while they are locked up. Referee had to break him up once Ibushi found his way to the ropes. The ropes were definitely Ibushi's saving grace during multiple points of this match, as he then basically gets challenged by the King to meet him up at the entranceway. And Kota Ibushi, he follows suit. Not the smartest idea, as the angry King dropped the Golden Star, Kota Ibushi, with some thundering forearm shivers. Of course, Reshu's Uno, he of course was applying the 20 count, and we almost had a count-out win here for the King. But Kota Ibushi found his way back into the ring. And at this point, Suzuki then lays in his own set of kicks to Ibushi, who's just sit up in the corner. And basically, he just follows up, literally knocking out the Golden Star. I love every time you hear a knockout blow from Suzuki. Japanese commentator goes, oh! And as this continued, basically, Kota Ibushi, he slowly was channeling that fluke state for a moment, that inner demon, some would say. And literally on impulse, he brought some stiff strikes with a drop kick and a soba to Suzuki before a heavy combo landed, not once, but twice. But Suzuki continues to laugh it off and stays down as kick after kick connected. What the hell is Suzuki made of? Why does Suzuki love this so much? As the dementive grin and laugh, of course, comes across Minoru Suzuki's face, he then basically locks in Kota Ibushi after dropping him again with another stiff forearm, probably popping him out of that state too, and literally locks him in a half crab into a full crab. Of course, this was followed up after elbows and headbutts were met too. And literally, we go into the snap around sleeper. Ibushi is right now prone to be set up for the God-style pile driver, but he counters out of it, goes for a Kamagoye, and that gets countered itself into, of course, like I said, the submission setup. First, the Boston Crab single leg, into the full leg, back into the single leg. very effective submission game by Minoru Suzuki. As Ibushi tries to find his way out of this, he does find his way out of this and sets free and looks once again to hit that knee strike, but it's countered and countered and countered until finally, out of nowhere, as the King's laughing, a pop-up Kamagoye, it hits the King directly and drops him, literally, like a tree. As the King is still smiling on, Kota Ibushi finally goes for the kill and hits one last Kamagoye exposed knee to the fullest effect. And the Golden Star surpasses the King in this match and goes up to 10 points. 1, 2, 3. What an intense, competitive, physical test for the Golden Star this G1. You're talking about really seeing if you can box with God. Well, the King may have just did that. But I do like the fact that even after this match, the King continued to just smile. It wasn't like he was frustrated or annoyed. He got the fight that he wanted. He may have actually felt pain. And I think he actually enjoyed this match, even though he lost. And in the end, the King's going to be remembered for what he brought to Kota Ibushi. But Kota Ibushi, kudos to him, he got past Minoru Suzuki in a very impressive affair. I'm pretty sure Kota Ibushi is going to be feeling this one tomorrow, that's for sure. And the King, well, the King's one did not show pain, nor say does he feel it. But I'm curious if he did feel something, because again, he left this match with a smile. What does that tell you? Respect? I think it does. It's weird when you think about it, but still, game represents game, and respects it too. Following this, we go into our main event, first time ever, as Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada takes on Rampage Dragon, Shingo Takagi, and who I might add probably is one of the best wrestlers this year around. And literally, Shingo wanted one thing. He wanted the old Okada, and he used everything he could to pull it out. He got subtle shades of it throughout this match. Let's go ahead and look at this match. That went nearly the time limit, too. Holy hell. As this match began, Shingo Takagi Okada, they initially meet up, and after, of course, initial testing, which is, of course, the standard for a Kazuchika Okada match, Takagi was able to take, I guess you could say, first blood, and the crowd was solely behind Rampage Dragon, as he had some stiff shots. But then Okada, he responds with basement dropkick that drops Shingo to the floor. As Okada continued the offense and looked to press forward, we then basically go for, I think what you would call some sort of powerbomb type maneuver, but Takagi basically counters out of it, takes out the Rainmaker's leg on the apron, and then follows up with a vicious DDT on the floor. And then we get a body scissors in the middle of the ring. As Okada, though, he gets some of his traditional moves, and including a flapjack that dropped Takagi, and then accelerates with the back elbow strike, allowing the crowd to clap and stomp, and we're only 10 minutes in. At this point, we're still figuring out each other. And then pop-up DVD puts the match into Shingo Takagi's favor, but Okada, he then goes for the reverse net breaker and finds it. Then Takagi, he fires back with his power game. Stiff chops, followed by a straight fist to Okada's face. But then the drop kick, of course, off the top rope, traditional Okada. He nails Shingo with it and then follows up with a ridiculous DDT, hanging the Dragon from the apron and planting his head into the floor. As we get a lariato into Takagi, the Dragon basically, he goes for Noshigami, but that gets countered, of course, to Okada's Cobra Clutch submission to Michael. The first time he tries to win it with this, by the way, but there were multiple times he tries to go for this, and Shingo found his way out. This first time, however, basically, he's just landing in elbow strikes on Okada. Goes for the kill, but is met again with a drop kick, followed by Tombstone, back into the money clip. But again, Shingo fights his way out of it. As the Rainmaker continues to try and put this move over, as the new Okada tries to continue to try and win with this, and not go back to the ways of old for whatever reason. We get a ridiculous superplex spot by Shingo from the top rope, and then a pumping bomber that met Okada in the corner. But then Okada fired out of there and literally pulls off a shotgun drop kick. But then literally Shingo rose through it, Okada is shot, and Shingo hits Okada with a sliding lariat. I thought he won here, and we're at the 20-minute mark. Now we're digging deep into this match at this point, as both men are trading strikes for strikes. We're playing the power game here. The crowd is getting into it. It wasn't, I think, as crazy as the point that literally Minoru and Kota were slapping each other at one point. and literally Kota got knocked out with an overhead slap. But anyway, as we continue to go through this, Okada, he tries to look for, of course, that victory roll, that flash pinning combination out of nowhere as he got the win in his last 2 matches back-to-back now. Shingo gets out of it. I was very happy to see that. But then a corkscrew tombstone finds its way, and Shingo once again is prone to the money clip. This is the 3rd time Okada has it locked in, middle of the ring. As Takagi fights his way to get free, there was a short arm lariat by Okada. Not Rainmaker, but a lariat. This is good. But then Takagi falls up with his own Rainmaker. Holy hell. And the crowd and the commentary lost their damn minds. And then literally he pulls off the pose and then goes for a pumping bomber, but it was ducked by Okada, and Takagi then scored, made in Japan, and literally gets a near fall. Falls up immediately for the kill with his lariat, though, the pumping bomber, turns Okada inside out. I thought he wanted here, no. Okada kicks out. As Shingo Takagi goes for his last ace in the hole, last of the dragon, he goes for it again. It gets countered into the money clip again, but then he escapes out of it. And Okada with a short-range drop kick and rolling lariat as Shingo got free. Following this, we literally are just in the mere last couple minutes, I think, of this match. Okada finally locks the money clip in once again for the 4th time, and we wonder if Shingo's body will give out as Red Shoes checks on him. There was no grabbing Red Shoes Umino this time, like the 3rd attempt. And as Shingo looked like he was about to literally get out of it with 3 minutes left, Okada pulls Takagi back to the center of the ring after a short-term backbreaker, locks the money clip in again, and just enough causes Rampage Dragon to pass out. And via ref stoppage, Okada wins this all-out war and probably his toughest match to date since returning in this COVID era, let alone this G1. What an incredible match. And you're going to remember Shingo Takagi's name for sure after this. Shingo Takagi remains at 6, though, while Okada is now tied with 3 others as block leader at 10 points. This night overall was just absolutely incredible action. And while the Bullet Club match was not a 5-star classic, as I didn't expect, it does leave you wondering now what might be coming up next for Bullet Club. Is everything fine in Bullet Club? You cannot argue, though, with the incredible physical displays of will testing and just overall jaw-breaking action that we've got from all 4 of the other matches, though. If I look at these 4 matches and rank them, I think I like them like this, from best to maybe not, the most memorable for me. Number 1 for me has to be Shingo Takagi versus Kazuchika Okada, because Shingo literally put out the Rainmaker, and I think that really ticked off Okada. It surprised me if Okada did not go for the Rainmaker, but I felt like he is this close to bringing it back. And he has 2 more matches to see if he can literally win this with the money clip, or will he have to use the Rainmaker. I thought Shingo was going to force him to use it. So it's either the short arm lariat and the discus attempt, but again, no Rainmaker. And I look at the other matches, I think the next favorite for me was definitely Minoru Suzuki and Kota Ibushi, as these 2 truly just tested each other with everything. Kicks, strikes, mat game, overhead slaps, blizzards galore. There were multiple times Kota Ibushi got knocked out, but Kota Ibushi dug his way to hit that Kamagoye with full effect as the king laughed and smiled on, and Kota overcame a real test. It's really something when you go up against this guy, let alone live to tell the tale that you beat him. Casa Nina Ray. I loved everything about that match. And then Jeff Cobb and Tomohiro Ishii, they set the pace for the night with that opener. Absolutely weld into each other in the most ridiculous ways I've seen in a long time, between 2 huge hybrid powerhouses. And again, if it wasn't for that grappling game, you wonder if that result would have been different. And then, of course, you had Taiji and Will Ospreay that tested a bit of Ospreay's strength, but also outsmarting the Holy Emperor, as the Holy Emperor literally looked like he was going for the kill here. Surprised he did not use low blow, double leg, Gato clutch. But again, I thought it was a really good match. But I digress. Incredible night for day 13, and probably my favorite night overall for the G1, bar none. And our scores now stand as follows, with only 2 days left for each competitor in this block. Kota Ibushi stands at 10, Jeff Cobb at 6, Okada at 10, Ishii at 6, Ospreay at 10, Takagi at 6, with Suzuki at 6, Taiji at 6, Jay White at 10, Yujiro at 0. before I talk about tomorrow's B Block action, let's just go ahead and slowly look at the remaining matches for everybody here that's a block leader. Because at this point, you gotta imagine it's going to come down to these four. The other ones are going to have to play spoiler. Kota Ibushi still has to face Taiji and Yujiro. Yujiro has gone this entire G1 scoreless. Can he really leave this G1 with no points at all? Or can he find a way to stop the momentum of the Golden Star? I don't know about you, but I feel it's more likely that Taiji can pull off the biggest upset, I feel like, in Kota's run, based on the rivalry these two had, even before Golden Ace was a thing. And I feel like right now, and it's the very last day of the G1 before the finals, I feel like Kota Ibushi and Taiji is going to be a deciding match whether Kota wins this block or not. Then you go with Okada, who's got two great Chaos members in front that are going to test him to his limits, and one has been able to beat him. The other one he's been able to beat every time, but you wonder, this is Ospreay's time, as he next has the Stone Pit Bull, Tomohiro Ishii. And we know how long these two go back in their history. In previous G1s, the Stone Pit Bull has overcome the Rainmaker, including when he was IWGP Heavyweight Champion. And Will Ospreay, Okada is the reason Ospreay is in Chaos. But every time these two have met one-on-one under G1, Japan Cup, you name it, Ospreay has yet to figure out a way to stop the Rainmaker. He has yet to beat him. And that literally is the last day for both Ospreay and Okada, who are block leaders. You look at the matches for the last day and you wonder what could truly decide the A block. It literally might come down to Ospreay and Okada. Both, I would imagine, are two top-tier favorites to take the A block. I feel like that match right there, among the remaining matches for the G1 for A block, that's the one match people are going to look at because they're going to wonder, can Ospreay complete the Grand Slam basically for his New Japan run? Can he win the G1 despite circumstances from earlier this year among the wrestling community? And trust me, people, I know. But also you wonder, can Okada once again win the G1 here? Can he bounce back from last year's loss against Kota Ibushi? Can Kota be stopped? Can Taiji stop the Golden Star? And then can Jay White survive the King? And how are Jay White and Gato following the events that occur with him and Yujiro? And of course, he's also facing Tomohiro Ishii. Bottom line is this. We are in for some incredible days of action. And it's crunch time. These four, this is do or die for them. One loss could be their downfall. That's it. Period. So I got to imagine that Taiji, even Yujiro, Tomohiro Ishii, and Takagi, they're going to do everything they can to try and play a spoiler maker regarding tiebreakers. Now, Takagi, of course, he's only got Suzuki and Taiji, but you got to imagine he's definitely looking forward to facing the King the final day because he wants to go after the Never Boy title again. And that's all I got to say about that for now. Bottom line, folks, we're in the final stretch. So take your pick, place your bets. Now, let's go ahead and look at B block action because, again, we are on the final stretch of them too, and for some, it's do or die. And again, this literally is tomorrow. No rest for the weary. But again, like I said this morning, when I wake up to great professional wrestling, I could be going off any amount of sleep, and I will be awake like that. Tomorrow's action emanates for B block at the following times: 2 a.m. Pacific, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard, 10 a.m. British Standard. B block action. Let's look at the card. Yoda gave a kid. They kick us off in their Young Lions C Block G1. And right now it is 5-1-1 in Tsuji's favor, 2-1-1 this tour. Can the double arm suplex that kid has pulled out to get him his first victories in New Japan lead him to victory against a very game Yoda Tsuji, who I feel like many people are already calling for this tour? He's going to get the win. Well, let's see. He's already got 2 draws under his name, and he is leading. Gabriel Kidd, I think right now, if he loses this, you might as well count him out. So with that being said, I'm going to say that Kidd, especially since Yoda is coming off a brutal war with Ouya, and Kidd has not been in action, Kidd's going to be in the better shape of the two. I think Kidd somehow will pull out the win. Following this, we go into a very interesting match as Yoshihashi takes on Zack Sabre Jr. Might I add, Yoshihashi is eliminated, but he still could play spoiler here and eliminate Zack Sabre Jr. While people right now who are entering this at 6 points, they're kind of on the chopping block. If they will win here, they're pretty much done. Yoshihashi, of course, who is 2 points in. Zack Sabre Jr. is, of course, 6 points in. Overall, though, Zack Sabre Jr. has Yoshihashi's number every time. And, of course, Zack Sabre Jr. coming off a crazy longest match for Toru Yano's G1 run here. Crazy win against the intoxicated Fiend 1. and of course KOPW 2020 preliminary winner. I'm sure Yoshihashi has given us a ton of classics to remember, and that could definitely lead him to being in G1 next year. But you wonder, can he pull up a huge upset? Can he get another win? He's only got 2 more opportunities after this one, so it's a crunch time for him too. And Zack Sabre Jr., he's had a bit of a mixed run, but he's got a couple of interesting matches coming up, and this is one of them. I look at Yoshihashi's health. I look at Zack Sabre Jr.'s health. I look at Zack Sabre Jr.'s knees. I look at Yoshihashi, and I think about his lower neck. And right now, I'm going to say, oh boy, this one's tricky. But I'm going to say, because again, both are actual submissions-based wrestlers too. I'm going to say Zack Sabre Jr. causes the Headhunter to tap out here. I'm going to say that Zack Sabre Jr. gets the win. Following this, we go into Toru Yano versus Kenta. Toru Yano with 6, Kenta with 4, a very rough run. This is their first ever singles meeting. And Kenta basically has to win this to have any chance to be even in contention to possibly win this block. But also, he needs to count on Lady Luck later down the line with Naito losing out. But this is the first obstacle to that 2-step objective. We know Toru Yano is going to bring every trick in the book. Kenta is also extremely no-nonsense, and based on his mixed run, I'm sure he's going to do everything he can to win. Toru Yano, of course, he's literally going to play spoiler here. You got to wonder Kenta's stance in Bullet Club regarding what happened with Evil and Dick Togo and the 2 sweep that they didn't do with Kenta. There's got to be some changes coming to Bullet Club, I feel like. And you wonder if Kenta loses here, what sort of major change might ensue, despite the fact he has the NJPW US certificate. He's clearly on Kenta's side in Bullet Club. That goes without saying. I feel like we're going to have a Bullet Club Civil War heading into Wrestle Kingdom too. But thinking too far ahead. Looking at this match, blah, 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 blah. Well, Kenta, you are in a do or die situation where you have to win this. So I'm going to hope that your case holds up, and maybe you can use that against Toru Yano's head. Look out for tape. I'm going with Kenta for the win. Moving on from there, it's Juice Robinson versus Sonata. Both men sitting at a comfortable 6 points. But right now, both men truly need the win. Of course, Juice Robinson coming off probably his best match in the G1 against Tetsuya Naito. Even with the subtle mocking, I think Tetsuya Naito strongly respects Juice Robinson for his efforts. Sonata right now on a 3-0 run regarding his 0-3 start, literally turning his G1 completely around, and is still my pick to win the block. And we know following this, he still has Evil waiting for him. Former tag team partners. Looking at this match, the singles record is 1-1, 2017, 2018's G1s, respectively. So they both have traded a win. So it's a rubber match under the same circumstances, the G1. So I really wonder, can Juice Robinson's flamboyant Freddie Mercury rockin' attitude take on the calm collective Sonata, who's doing it all in the name of his role models, and I'm sure wants to make New Japan under his lead? This is going to be a very interesting match, and honestly, it is a crucial match for both. But I'm going to say that Sonata continues his momentum and gets the best of Juice Robinson, probably with a moonsault to the back. I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. said he beat me with a flip. Well, for all we know, Sonata can do the same thing to Juice, but we'll wait and see. But I'm going with Sonata for the win, which leads us to a match full of history that could definitely steal the night, but you got to wonder about the extent of Goto's shoulder's health. The ace in New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, sitting at 6, taking on Hiroki Goto, who also sits at 6. And their overall singles record in 12 encounters overall, the ace has had Goto's number 11 out of the 12 times, and all 4 previous G1 encounters. Again, when it comes to G1, you cannot leave the ace's name out of it. He is synonymous with the G1, including the fact that 2002 class in NJPW dojo, Goto had an impressive showing. And then, of course, Goto, he got the best of the ace back in 2007, I believe. A very memorable IWGP Heavyweight Championship match. Just looking over my notes from a cage match ring base. So basically, he only beat him in 2012 New Japan Cup. Okay. So Goto's only had the ace's number 8 years ago. And definitely not going into this match 100%. I feel like right now, the G and G1 does not stand for Goto. I've got to stick with statistics here. I'm going to go with the ace for the win. But it should be a very competitive match. This might even outshine the match Goto had with Yoshihashi. I'm sure these two are going to give us a classic to remember, because that's what you get when you got people that have such tremendous history and know each other so well. I'm looking very forward to this. But now we look at this match, and this is one of those matches when the B-Block was announced, I was like, this is going to be a deciding factor, I feel, when it comes to Evil's Bullet Club future and Tetsuya Naito's Destino, because they meet again in the main event, not for the gold. Tetsuya Naito, block leader with 10 points, solo block leader, I might add, takes on Evil with 8 points. And literally, this is the main event. We already know the history here. It's pretty simple. It's 2-1 in Naito's favor. We all know what has happened this year between Evil and Naito. And right now, as far as G1 goes, they've only had one previous encounter in the G1, and Naito won that. So here we go again. Two people that have known each other for the last 5 years, basically. As Evil and Naito have tag team, Evil and Naito have won gold on separate occasions, together and separately. Evil turned his back in LIJ, took the gold from Naito, and Naito took it back at Jingu Stadium. And Evil right now is trying to make everything dark again. So with that being said, you think about the fact that Naito only has one loss to Sonata. Can Evil do what Sonata did with the help of Dig Togo? Or has Naito become so aware of Evil's games that he's going to get the best of Evil again, and you might as well count Evil out? Because regardless, in tie-breaking fashion, with Naito being leader, Sonata had the tiebreaker because Sonata beat Naito, Evil with Nada. So, do I see Dig Togo giving another win to Evil and keeping any hopes of Evil winning this thing alive? My mind says yes, but my heart says no, because you know why. But I'm going to go with my heart and say Destino remains intact of him defining himself. I hope and pray and predict and go with, at the end of the night, Tetsuya Naito stands tall at 12 points, and Evil is basically out of contention. My pick to win the main event is Tetsuya Naito. And I can see these two definitely going to the time. Surprisingly, that we have not had a draw yet in this G1 outside the Young Lions. I can see this actually maybe going to a draw, but I just, nah. Bottom line, Naito for the win. Simple as that, and I hope it happens. And again, folks, this is crunch time. That is day 14, which means following tomorrow, we have 5 days of action left. 2 days for each of the blocks respectively, and the final. Come the end of literally this week, as I come to you now, 4:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, October 10th, come the 17th, we literally set up the finale, because the 18th, that's it. It's the final. So come Sunday, October 18th, we will finally see who will be the one. And while I feel like right now the B block is going to come down simply to Sonata and Naito, the A block, it still has 4 potential contenders. But again, my potential final might be dead, but my overall winner still is alive. So Sonata, try and take it home, man. I'm rooting for you. But it would not surprise me come A block. It's Okada versus Sonata. With that being said, in the finale, with that being said, that's all I have to say for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. You want to know more about me? Know this. I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of ... wrestling. Twitter, Instagram, PlayStation, Adam Foster 9016, YouTube channel, youtube.com/C/NoFoster210 for all things wrestling. Shout out to my HW family on Twitter. You want to know more about? It's in the description down below. Support WrestleJoy, NoDQ, Team All Elite, Meltdown. Support for wrestling, folks. That's the heart of it. And as always, I like to close. Support wrestling house big and small. Let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite, authentic, unscripted, unrestricted wrestling community together. Simple as that. With that being said, what are your thoughts on the G1 so far? Is your overall pick for each block still in contention to win? Who do you want to win the G1? And how are you doing in the first ever Joy 1 climax under WrestleJoy? I haven't checked my scores. I'll check my scores the day before the finals. But good luck to my friends, Ashley Reynolds, Mark Griff, CRRN, Phoenix AEW, and of course, my good friend, the lovely Cindy G. And please follow the Bullet Caswell and her pockets in the stratosphere. That's all I have to say for now as we prepare for tomorrow, which is literally just a little bit over 12 hours away. So with that, enjoy your Saturday. Take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families. Enjoy wrestling. There's more of it now than ever. Find some promotion, some company, some person, some friend, something that connects with you. Make a friend, make a rivalry out of it too. I dare you. Someone go challenge Virtue on NoDQ. I dare you. And until next time, be positive, be safe. It's Mental Health Awareness Day across the world. Take care of you. Be happy with you. If you're not happy with you, how can you be happy with others or expect others to be happy for you? Your own health is what's most important. mentally, physically, and for those that care, spiritually. And for those that don't, I pray for you, whether you understand that or not. I hope you all have a wonderful day or evening, wherever you are in the meantime, and I'll see you tomorrow after day 14. Pequeño, sayonara.